Kruk and Gilbert Melendez here, cage side, for the feature fight of Legacy Fighting Alliance number 149. Fimbres with the red tape and Charles the blue tape.
Both gentlemen filling each other out right now. Big exchange in the center of the octagon. Fimbres calling Charles over.
Charles told us he's fought tall fighters before. His plan was to sprawl and brawl, defend the takedowns from Fimbres, use jabs. Thinks he can finish him with a submission by taking his back.
Yeah, both these individuals seemed like they wanted to bang it out in the rules meeting or fighters meetings out there. But it seemed like Fimbres believed he had the better wrestling and the grappling that he needed. If he can lean on that later, he can. Great exchange, hands to the tie clinch, just misses a knee.
Fimbres told us he wanted to keep this fight on the feet, said his biggest advantage is in the striking department. Also will rely on his wrestling.
Don't forget, you don't have to throw hard on side, just put jab up there. When you see the opportunity, throw it. Let's go. Fake, fake.
Fimbres pulling out with that jab, some level changes, trying to set up that big high kick, stance switch.
See, Charles wants to avoid that long reach, get inside. Nice kick to the ribs.
Yes, beautiful left kick. That southpaw position versus conventional, that rear kick is there. It's that kicker's distance. When Fimbres in that southpaw, look for him to throw that kick. When he switches to conventional, look for him to go back to his jab and straight punches.
Two fighters just beginning their MMA careers, but doing it at incredible fight camps. Tony Charles, AKA, and he's got Charles wobbled. Fimbres with a couple of nice shots. He trains at Fight Ready and Siege MMA.
Fimbres with the big kick to the head, goes for the kill. Charles answers back, and Fimbres takes his foot off the gas pedal a little bit, and he's sticking to his game plan. What I like about Fimbres doing really good is a lot of feints, bringing up that lead leg, setting things up. Charles doing a good job of staying lateral, moving right to left, left to right. But when he moves to that right, that's to the power of that left kick, and he has to be careful of that left kick. Good check by Charles.
Firing the leg kicks low and then high. Charles able to catch it on that one. Pushes him up against the cage wall right in front of us. Follows it up with a knee on the break. Tony Charles was a lot of fun to talk about. He was just starstruck. He's a black belt in karate.
You love to see people with those kind of good attitudes, fans of the sport, knows their history, just really enjoys being in the octagon.
He was so pumped to meet you, and Shinzo Machida is doing our Portuguese broadcast tonight. So he was a huge fan, of course, of Lyoto Machida.
Fimbres is just very good footwork. Just hopping very well, just light on his feet, side to side. I think Charles is a little bit flat. He's good when they're toe-to-toe in the pocket, but Fimbres is a hard target to find. Always switching stances side to side, countering on the way in.
Oh, and Charles is backed up, but comes in and clinches up. Right in front of us, under a minute to go in this opening round, middleweight action.
Some great exchanges by these individuals.
Yeah, two very athletic middleweights. Charles making his LFA debut tonight. Fimbres looking to go 2-0 here in the LFA. Fimbres training with the UFC's Kelvin Gastelum, who headlines the UFC next week.
Sparring with
Kirk as well.
Yeah, if you spar with Gastelum, you know you have some confidence. You know, just if you have any good moments. Beautiful do-si-do, gets his back off the cage. Fimbres lands a hook off the break. Respect.
Absolutely. Love it. Fighters go back to their corners. Make sure you're following us on all social media platforms. We are at LFA Fighting, at @rcruck, and at Gilbert Melendez on Twitter. Check out the action there from the opening frame, Gil.
Feint with the right leg. Left leg comes to the head. Rocks his opponent, Charles. Fimbres flurries, but Charles has some whiskers and responds himself. Again, great footwork by Fimbres. Right hand, left hook, another left hook. Charles eats it, stumbles him with that left, sets up the flying knee. Charles has been rocked a few times, but recovered well. And Fimbres just really controlling the tempo of this fight, really making the decision when they want to stay in the phone booth, it's because Fimbres wants to. When he wants to stay on the outside, it's because Fimbres wants to. I believe Charles wants to stay in the pocket a little bit more, but that's been up to Fimbres most of the time.
Well, Eric said that he wanted to keep this on the feet, and he did that in that first round, outlanding Charles 34-16. Fimbres with a 76% accuracy in that first round.
I see a lot of fighters switch their stance, but Fimbres doing a really good job of pulling out different stances. He has that left kick from the southpaw and then switches to conventional and uses his lead kick. And just very hard to read. Oh, rocked himself. Charles clips Fimbres. Fimbres trying to get the body lock here.
Hanging on, you're right, Gil. He caught him.
Great exchange by Fimbres, but the whiskers of Charles and power just rocked Fimbres, but he responded well. Climbed his way back up from the leg to the body. Slowing down the pace here. I like to see Charles get some space here. But Fimbres got the body lock now, trying to go to the wrestling. Big attempt, gets the takedown.
Real big takedown. And we'll see what he can do from this spot now with Tony Charles on his back.
I like the tight waist of Fimbres. He has the waist of Charles very well. Elevating the legs if he can. Head pressure on Charles here. Charles trying to cage walk here.
I mean, this is one of the most tight venues we've ever been at, Gil. I mean, the guy's right in front of us.
Ron, I love it. I love it. I can't believe I got the best seat in the house again.
How do you keep scoring those, man? You must be kind of a big deal. Former champion or something.
Huge moment here for both these individuals. Will Fimbres hold down Charles, or will Charles get back to his feet? Both men breathing, taking a beat.
It's just under 3 minutes to go in this second round.
Charles trying to get the wrist control here to get a stand up. Fimbres doing a good job of driving forward, using his chest and his weight to hold Charles down.
Charles able to get back up on his feet for now and separate, and they will restart in the center of the octagon as we hit the midway point of round number 2.
Fimbres did a great job of responding from that knockdown, coming to the body lock, gaining the takedown. A little disappointing he didn't get more ground and pound when he was on top, but a big moral victory for Charles to buckle his opponent and get off the bottom. Beautiful left hand by Fimbres.
Oh, and backs up Charles again.
Charles with the whiskers.
Yeah, it looks like he's caught and shaken up, and then he just bounces right back.
He keeps his shoulders up and chin down, hides that neck. His neck isn't wobbling when he gets hit, so he takes it really well. Pushing forward. I'm I'm not saying both these gentlemen are tired, but they're not as explosive and not as light as in their feet as they were in the first round. They're both giving it their all right now. This is what I like to see from fighters. Oh my goodness!
His way in. Fimbres now with the body lock, maybe looking for a takedown or just trying to regroup.
Yeah, that double leg lift and doesn't get it. His arms slide up higher to the waist. No, Charles has the underhook, looks up at the clock. This round is still up for grabs. Huge knockdown for Charles. Good strikes landed from Fimbres. Takedown by Fimbres. Competitive round, 1 minute to go. Slick elbow off the break for Fimbres.
His AK coach, Hector Fernandez, others yelling to him, get off the cage. They do not want him there, and now
Charles is tough as nails, though.
First takedown scored by Eric Fimbres as we're approaching 30 seconds to go, and he's firing away as Charles back on his feet, but he ate a couple shots.
Big difference in that first takedown. This second takedown, he made sure he scored some points.
Absolutely.
Really like how he did that. Body lock again, takes him backwards. Beautiful takedown by Fimbres.
Third takedown out of 4 attempts.
10 seconds left. Let's see if Fimbres comes up with some ground and pound.
Yeah, exactly on cue, Gil.
Vicious elbows. Very intelligent of him to realize how much time's left on the clock and to really try to steal that round, which I believe he did, even though he got knocked down. I feel like he did a lot more damage himself, but that was a very good round.
Fimbres landing 70.
So from what I saw, it was a very good exchange from Fimbres landing punches, but it was Charles who lands the one that drops Fimbres. Here it is again, mixing it up. Fimbres lands, and then it's a right uppercut from Charles that puts Fimbres to the ground. Fimbres climbs up the tree, though, and wobbles Charles in that combination. Goes to the flying knee, just misses. Some shin lands, though.
Both fighters were hurt in this round, Gil.
Absolutely. I think we got Charles, who's more of this gritty Terminator, pushing forward, just showing he has great whiskers, and Fimbres looking like a sniper and going for the kill, but has to pull off because he has to respect that power of Charles. Such a great fight.
Fimbres out striking Tony Charles 30-11, Gil, in that round. He also scored 3 takedowns. And that shot, Tony Charles looking a little gassed, like you had alluded to in that second round.
Yeah, I'm glad you read that stat, because even though one gets knocked out, you get to see who's landing, who's throwing more, and this isn't boxing, this is mixed martial arts, a little bit different sometimes. Just because you get the knockdown doesn't mean you won the round. Fimbres managing the distance well, stiff arm away. As Charles gets a little closer, you see the lateral movement.
And also in the kick department, Eric landing 24 compared to Tony Charles only 6. Still anyone's fight, though, here in the third round.
Yeah, all it takes is for Charles to blitz forward and get an exchange. Oh, beautiful level change.
And completes the takedown, exclamation point. Starts the third round pretty much where he left off in the second with another impressive takedown.
Very good timing. Recognizing, grabbing his data, knowing that Charles wants to blitz forward now, getting those exchange. Level change, double leg takedown, scoring some punches with his tight waist here. I like it.
And been very active once he has had Charles down, continuing to pepper him with short, sharp shots. Charles needs to get away from this onslaught and this attack.
Really like that head position switch by Fimbres, able to take the back. Just with that change of head position, drives his opponent down to the mat, wearing him. I think he might even have his far wrist over there or a tight waist. Scoring, scoring. I like to see him mix his grappling and maybe slip a leg in, look for a neck, but this is still devastating. Oh!
And he stops it. And that's gonna do it. This fight is over. A victory for the Siege MMA Fight Ready Eric Fimbres. Big win for him. And Tony Charles really was not arguing with that stoppage, Gil. We thought maybe it was a little early, but when you saw that picture of Charles coming out in the third round, I mean, to me, he looked like an exhausted fighter.
Yeah, he was. He was fatigued, and sometimes the damage is not just done from the strikes, but it's done on your lungs with the cardio and the press, the pressure of Fimbres, and he was on his way. He was on his way to victory, I believe. And maybe that was a good stoppage. You know, I'm a fighter. You know, I want to see guys going on their shield sometimes, but there's no complaints by anyone here. And I have to say, man, I'm speculating that Fimbres is going to be one of those fighters to watch out in 2023 here. We're talking about what's going to happen with these prospects that are going to catapult themselves to that next level. Here's that forward pressure from Charles, and he knew it was coming. Grabbed his data from the first 2 rounds, knew Charles was going to try to pressure him. Level change to some devastating ground and pound. Forearm, elbows, tight wasting, riding and grounding and pounding at the same time.
And landing some shots.
Yes, and I think this is where the refs saw, right? We saw Charles trying to work his way up, but again, went back down. And the referee just saw this was going in the direction of a win. Fimbres, with very, very great fighter IQ out there, made very little mistakes. Was very optimal out there, made the right decisions. I'm impressed. I think I'm a fan.
Very impressive performance by the 25-year-old.
25?
Yeah, man. I think you're spot on, man. Keep an eye on him, fighting out of Glendale, Arizona. Improves to 2-0 now as a pro, but this is his 8th straight win when you include his amateur career. Very impressive performance by the young man. Now 2-0 in the LFA as well. Coming off that 48-second TKO, follows it up with another win here tonight. Let's get the official time from Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Ryan Brueggemann, calls a stop to this fight. 1 minute, 52 seconds into the third and final round, declaring your winner by TKO, Eric Fimbres.
Eric Fimbres, 8th straight win, including his amateur career, 2nd win in a row as a pro.